On this episode of Two Right Turns, we hear from the specialists breaking down their heartfelt appreciation of the Clemson family environment in a night game in the Valley. We also hear from their mental preparation going into a game knowing that there's going to be a fake on the table, as well as how they get ready to compete in Mario Kart. Two Right Turns starts now.
They take those two right turns, and when they make the final turn, they can begin to hear the crowd and the noise of the open end of the stadium.
Here it is, the most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Studio C of the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute for another episode of Two Right Turns, a Clemson football podcast. Today, you could call it a special episode, but we're going to call it a specialist episode. I'm going to have these three men introduce themselves, starting right here across from me.
What's up, everyone? I'm Clay Swinney. I'm a fourth year, number 88, right here from Clemson, South Carolina, and I'm the placeholder.
Hello, everybody. My name is Philip Florenzo. Everybody calls me Flo here. I am a graduate long snapper, number 45 from Mount Airy, Maryland. Just happy to wear the paw.
My name is Jack Smith. I'm a fourth year with Clay, punter, red shirt, so I got one more year left. I'm from Saraland, Alabama, small town near Mobile. Dude, I'm just freaking stoked to be here.
Hey, and you are not the only one stoked. I am as well. Alex Bina here, guest host, filling in for Ross Taylor. And I appreciate you guys spending time with us today because we have a lot to talk about, starting with the 24-10 victory over Florida State. Now, there's a lot that happened in the game that we want to discuss from your perspective. But before we get into what happened between the lines, let's talk about the environment of Death Valley at night. Flo, I want to start with you, being our veteran in this group. What does it mean when you get an opportunity to go play in Death Valley at night?
Death Valley to me is a very special place in my heart. And, the environment, I just have to talk about FSU because I just can't get around it. The environment that they gave to us was second to none. And just, I don't think fans understand and quite get enough credit how special they make it for us. We could be playing at a place where I'm just playing in front of my mom and dad and cheering them on, but I get 81,000 people that are into the game, whether it's the first quarter, second quarter, or fourth, whether we're up 30 or tie ball game. Like, they bring the same energy every time, and that's what Death Valley is, and that's what Clemson is. It's no matter the circumstances, no matter the sport, they come out and cheer with everything they have, and I just don't think the fans even get enough credit for how much they impact the game. So,
Jack, moving to you as the punter, a lot of times some people might not be that excited to see you get out on the field, but how do you interact with the fans, or how does that presence affect your ability?
Well, the couple games ago, I was getting booed whenever I was going on the field because I went out there a few too many times. So that was fun. Never had that happen before. But I mean, I definitely benefit from it because it's not as loud as the stadium can be whenever I go out on the field. Mostly whenever I go out there, people are going to go get a refill on their drink or something like that. So,
but as you're warming up, as you're getting ready on the sideline, are you feeling that energy?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I like to take a few minutes whenever the stadium's starting to get full, and then just soak it in and take it in, and because we only get a few years to do this, and you got to take it in, because if you don't, you'll regret it. But I mean, I definitely feed off that energy. It's like he said, it's second to none. I've been to countless different places and seen different games, and the Clemson family showing up changes the outcome of the game 100%, and it's always in our favor. So like he said, that they can't get enough credit for what they do.
And Flo, I called you the vet, but Clay, you've probably been to the most games in that stadium of this group. Where would you rank that atmosphere on Saturday night compared to some games you've been to?
Yeah, I've been to every Clemson home game since 2003.
Sheesh.
So
how old were you in 2003?
I was 0. That was a few months.
Okay.
So I've been to a ton of night games, and being a fourth year, played in a lot of them too. And that one was one of the most special ones to me, just because, we're having a little bit of a rough season. We're 3-5, and I mean, we come around the corner on the hill and it's sold out. But that's the type of fan base we have here at Clemson, and it's not like that many other places. And also, anytime Clemson, Florida State's playing, I don't care what the records are, it is a huge, huge deal. Such a storied rivalry. And, that one was one I'll remember for a while, and the fans were a huge part of that. I mean, it was truly an awesome atmosphere.
And you don't have to just wait for the fans to bring some juice. It looked like you were getting some juice on the sideline as well. We've got a video here. I want you to talk about a little bit about, what is this group? What is your role here? And how do you get this group going?
I love this video. I need this video. This is the Jump Squad. My freshman year, we had a strength coach named Duncan Hundley, and he would just lose his mind, right? And so all of us freshmen and all these walk-ons on the kickoffs, we would just go crazy because, the coaches would challenge us, whatever you are, be a good one, be great in your role. And if you're not playing, well, bring energy, right? So we would rally up as many walk-ons as possible, and we would just try and bring energy and go crazy. And we've kind of carried it on for these last 4 years. It's a lot of fun. It's always fun. Sometimes there'll be some other guys across the sideline doing it, so we'll go back and forth. But it's a great way to get the guys who aren't really on the field every snap to stay engaged to the game.
Have you guys ever been a part of the Jump Squad? Have you ever been called up?
I was a part of the Jump Squad my first year.
You're welcome back.
Yeah,
It's a lifetime membership.
I go back sometimes. Usually I try to stay pretty calm during games, but if I get into it, I'll grab a towel and start yelling at some random freshmen to get their butts in the Jump Squad and start cheering on the kickoff. But it makes a difference, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's because you're on my first year, when you're not playing, you're just sitting there. You're basically a fan. You're just, clapping along with everybody else. But that's such a great way to just get involved and just get a boost of energy, and just it was I've been in there back in my glory days. I was in there.
They say if you're juiceless, you're useless.
Yeah,
so
that's a good
whatever
one.
you can do to affect the game. Now, you guys talked a little bit about the pregame environment and just what it felt like coming in, but then you gave the fans a lot to cheer for. And it started right out of the gate. Long drive, touchdown, going into an extra point. A lot of folks, you score, everybody's celebrating. They're not always paying attention, not always locked in. But you knew, Clay, that this was the plan going in, that this was what you guys were going to do upon the first score. So was your mindset going into this game a little bit different than it was in previous games?
Honestly, no, not really. Like you said, we found out Tuesday that, the look was there, and he said we're going to call it first score. So I kind of knew, but there's been other games throughout my career where I was pretty confident we were going to run a fake. Didn't always happen, but for some reason this week I really didn't have much nerves about it. I was like, you know what? Just run as hard as I can, and if it happens, it happens. That's awesome. But I had a lot of confidence in the look and the guys blocking, and really just had a lot of peace about it, which is a blessing, and it was truly a special moment. Big O'Connell right there. I didn't know I was in, and then he starts grabbing me, screaming in my face. So that's definitely a moment I'll never forget.
I don't think there's anyone having more fun playing football than Ronan O'Connell.
It was just Rocktober for those who celebrated. It's over, but it was Rocktober.
That's right.
That's the crazy thing about fakes is, I can share this. For those who don't know, Coach Swinney gets very excited when he has a fake, and he knows it from Monday. So he walks in, and you know when you're going to run one, and you know when you don't, because you go through it. You go through it every week, and punt, field goal. We always go through fakes at the end of practice. And he walks in, he's like, "All right, we got so and so, this, that. All right, everybody good, break it down." But when he wants to run one, and when he knows it's there, he comes in. He came out to us before practice. Oh, baby, boys, I got something for you.
It's there this week.
And he's like, it's like he has this profound epiphany where he's like, "Oh, I've been watching this. I know exactly what they're gonna run. We're gonna boom right there. I'm telling you, it's go. And then he goes out there and he walks to the whole group and he goes, "Boys, I got something for you." And then from there on out, he's got the tingle, and you're gonna run one. And I've ran multiple fakes in my life on this team, and every time going to a game, I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna run a fake today." And then he brings the hose. He's like, "We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it," and then we run it.
And that's got to feel great as a coach when the look is there and it opens up. But this took a little bit more than coaching, because the look might have been there and then it suddenly wasn't. Clay, you had to really show some weight room work in here. Like you're really having to go through the contact and get across the line. Did you think it was short? Did you ever have any doubt?
Yeah, I mean, like I think my dad said, it really should have been a walk based on the look. But the double team between Blake and Cuddy kind of got widened a little bit and took a while, and that backer kind of made a good move and slipped inside. So I was just running. The next thing I know, 20's right there in front of me. And, I felt the contact a little bit. And no, I did not know if I was in until O'Connell just starts going screaming bloody murder in my face. But no, it was awesome. And the fans, I mean, I think it really was just a great way to set the tone of the game. And I think Florida State was chasing those points the rest of the game and just really gave our fans, our stadium, our team energy to win this game.
There's something about seeing 8-0 on the scoreboard after having the ball that just feels good. Now, Coach Swinney talks a lot about playing complementary football, 3 phases of football, working together, establishing field position, turning the ball over, going down and scoring. So we open the game with a long drive. We open with the 2-point conversion. Then down the road, defense gets into a situation where they're in the red zone and force a fumble. So let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing here. Ball pops out. Jaheim, gets his hands on it. It's on the ground. Jeremiah's there. Stephon Green is there. When you guys are seeing offense and defense on the field, are you guys even paying attention? Are you warming up for your own role? What do you see in a play like this?
For me, defense is where I get to watch, because on the offensive drives, I'm just trying to lock in on my process the whole time. So watching that, I was definitely locked in on defense, and I mean, I love watching those guys fly around. And that was a big play, because they cleaned up my mistake a couple plays before. Shout out to them. They scratched my back. But like you said, that's complimentary ball, and when Clemson plays complimentary ball, it's really hard to stop.
It feels different. It's a tough day at the office for sure. And then, so you mentioned, having a little bit of struggle early on. Some might say the only blemish in an otherwise pretty incredible season that you're having. What is your mindset, knowing that there's still a lot of football to play, to be able to flush a mistake early and continue to perform at a higher level down the road?
Well, I mean, main thing is I know what I can do. I've proved it not only in practice, but now I've proved it in games. So I have even more reasons to believe in myself. And another big help is Coach Allen on the sideline, because he's been through it. He's been through the ringer a time or two.
What's he say in that moment? Does he put his arm around you? Does he even need to say anything?
Most of the time, no, not really. Usually after any punt, he's just like, "Hey, how'd you feel? What'd you feel? Did you feel good? Did you not feel good?" We talk about the pressures of what did I see, but for that specific one, I felt a certain amount of peace about it. I knew I was totally fine, which is honestly, I was shocked. To be honest, I was shocked. I wasn't mad and mad at myself and mad at the world. I was I'm okay. I'm probably gonna have a few more to make up for that big mistake. And turned out I did, and I'd say I made up for it.
Yeah, I think I can talk about it. I think the best thing to do it is kind of a weird thing. You have to laugh it off almost. I didn't have a good snap that play, which kind of messed him up. I don't know, slipped out of the hand, and I was like, oh, and we're going to see what happens from there. But I think when something like that happens, you have to kind of flush it in a way. And our position's different. We can't really get mad we can't try harder at our position. So you just laugh it off. You realize and I learned that from BT Potter back my first year when it was a spring game. It was my first ever spring game, first ever like game rep, and I was scared out of my mind. It was windy, it was rainy, and it was my first ever punt snap, and I was like, oh, I got this. I've never thrown this ball over anybody's head. Like, and I threw the ball, and I heard everybody go, oh, and the ball went over BT's head, I think like into the end zone. And I remember running out the field thinking like, oh, I can't do this job. I want to quit football. Why am I even here? And I walk up to BT, who's a fifth-year established kicker, and he just starts laughing. And I was like, why are you laughing? Like, I'm about to cry, dude. What's going on? And he's like, dude, we're playing a kid's game. Yeah. Just relax and do your job. It's not that big of a deal. And from there on out, that's kind of been a great mentality because that's the truth about it. We're just playing a kid's game. There's no real pressure, you know? And so when something like that happens, you just have a good laugh, say a few, you know, it is what it is, and move on.
Well, let's talk about moving on because we have a pretty incredible highlight here from later in the game. You know, you get a little bit of pressure coming at Jack, gets a big bomb, and then Flo flying down the field, stopping it at the one, posing for the camera, just aura farming out the gate.
So cinematic.
It's pretty incredible. We got to put that to music or something. So,
For real.
Flo, knowing this is, you know, likely the last chance under the lights in the Valley, you know, having an opportunity, I think that's something you've talked a lot about this season is really taking advantage of your opportunities. Tell me about what you're seeing here, how you found the ball, and didn't let your momentum of 18.2 miles an hour carry you into the end zone.
Pure speed. Before this play, I was kind of jokingly, you know, we knew it was kind of a sky punt, which means you can just punt it up there and someone probably go catch the ball. And Coach Swinney was like, where are my gunners, which are the guys on the outside, which is like Ronan Hannafin and some other guys.
Ashton.
And I jokingly raised my hand like, Coach, I got you. And it wasn't a joke to him at the time, but I was like, no, I'm going to go catch it for you, Coach. And because I just try to stay relaxed in the moment. When it happened, I was kind of in shock like everybody else. I didn't expect it. Why I was so low and kind of like bent over is because Ronan was going to hit it. So I was kind of like, I got to just be ready for wherever this ball goes. And then he didn't hit it. And it just kind of slowly fell down. And when I caught it, like everybody says, like you said, I was aura farming. I was trying to check with the ref that it didn't like go over the line. And so I just kind of waited there, and I didn't really realize that I got it until I got slapped in the head like 4 times. And I kind of realized how big of a play it was. And the crowd, kind of erupted.
The delayed reaction.
Yeah, there's a very delayed reaction because I was like, did that count? And then I saw Wade, and Wade hit me in the head, and like 4 other people hit me in the head, and I was like, all right, that must have been good. But I mean, even the crowd was like very excited about it. I mean, there wasn't that much time left on the clock, and the crowd was still going crazy for it. So
Is that a better crowd pop than the Notre Dame fumble recovery, or is this your best crowd pop?
nah, nothing really beats that.
Because some say you single-handedly beat Notre Dame and turned around the season in
Notre Dame-
Some
2023.
do say that.
The Notre Dame was I sat down on the bench after Notre Dame and just looked over, I think it was like Brody Connor, Hogan Morton. I said, well, man, I just peaked. It's all downhill from
On
here.
paper, there's 2 more years, but this is it,
This is
guys.
it. I was like, you don't get a play like that ever again. So, I mean, that's a close sec. Oh no, it's close. It's not close to first, but it's second.
I mean, they're two season-changing plays. I mean,
yeah.
they create momentum the rest of the way.
So no, the crowd pop was where I was kind of shocked because I also didn't realize how many people were still at the
there,
game,
yeah.
and I was like, wow, let's go. So
Great environment.
great environment.
Facts.
I can't get over it. It was just how much the fans showed up, and you always can tell because you look at the top. Like when you turn the corner, you look at the top of the stadium.
I feel like you can tell when we're driving to the stadium.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of people tailgating, the Tiger Walk especially.
Right.
Tiger Walk last week was deep.
Phenomenal.
Deep. One of the best Tiger Walks. It
That
was
was.
close. I like it nice and close. You can high five both sides.
Yeah.
But when you look at the top and you see the tops are filled in, like the top corners. You sit there, I remember seeing it and said, wow, like fans showed up tonight. And it was very noticeable, even in that play when it seemed like it wasn't even that important. The whole crowd had a great pop, and it was awesome. It's a great play.
Heck yeah. And
Credit to Jack. Credit to Jack. 'Cause that was one heck of a bounce.
How you get that thing to just stop on a dime? I mean, you practice that, or is that just, giving it up to God?
It's a little bit of both. A traditional punt, you hold it like flat with a little tilt, and you kick straight through it, and it's a spiral. But usually, like the way it bounces is very unpredictable. And the way I dropped that one, where I had it very vertical, I kicked the nose of the bottom of the ball, and then it just does like a field goal rotation almost. And that's usually a punt that I'll use if the ball's on the 50-yard line or in, because I can be more accurate with my direction. And like you see, it most of the time it bounces back. And that's the part where you give it up to God. You're just hoping and praying that it bounces back.
God.
When I saw it and I saw how close they were to the goal line, I was like, oh no. And then that's what I was talking to Coach Allen about the other day. He was like, whenever he saw how close it was going, he was like, please, 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 please. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think before those plays, if you look in the background of like that's what I love watching, is just the whole reaction of the stadium and even our sideline is just. I mean, I give credit to everybody there, just how excited everybody was for
I think we have a clip of the sideline reaction here.
Oh yeah, Gilly.
Oh,
is this the whole play? Oh, nice.
he's so calm before it.
You could see just loving it, Coach Allen. Baby.
Let's
That's
go.
awesome.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I've ever seen eyes quite like that. I mean, what kind of energy is Gilchrist bringing to the specialist group?
So much energy.
Energy.
He does a great job being very consistent every day, and especially on game day, he gets so fired up, and it's very contagious throughout the
100%.
sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what he brings is an ungodly amount of energy. I mean, look at the eyes. And it's very known, or like when you're in a game and in practice, when it's special teams, that like Gilly, he tweaks out. And it's just, you see it in the eyes. Like, it's just a different human. But it's part of how he coaches. It's what makes him a good coach, is that he genuinely gives all of his energy to us and tries his very best to portray it to us, and that he cares, and it helps our special teams units perform at a great level, because if you know a coach cares about you and cares about the job, then you want to play for that guy. And so that's what he gets so intense sometimes. I have to be like, dude, I'm just throwing a ball between my legs. You gotta relax. So
He takes a lot of pride.
Heck yeah. No, it's great to see. And you guys, give him a lot to get excited about, especially this last weekend. Well, that's everything we have from the video part of the game, but it is time now to take a pit stop, courtesy of our friends at Darlington Raceway. I've got a series of questions for you guys, and I'd like you to answer with the first specialist that comes to your head. So we're going to do, it's kind of like a little specialist segment meeting. Not everybody is represented, but you get a chance to shout out some of your teammates here. Let's start with an easy one. Who's the funniest guy in the room?
Oh, specialist room?
Mm-hmm. I say Brody Kahn.
Brody Kahn.
Easy.
Quinn's a close second.
Yeah, I was about to say Quinn.
Quinn. I would have guessed Quinn. I actually wrote answers to this just to see what.
For those of Quinn Kastner is the really
Short
kicker, but absolute cannon of a leg.
bioengineer.
He was, fun fact, he was the lightest person on the team, but Juju took that title from him.
He's devastated, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was.
Who's most likely to go viral on social media?
Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's already done that.
Wait,
a few
actually, no,
times.
me.
Oh, yeah, the hill.
5 million people have seen it sit down the hill.
Can we get that video?
Yeah,
Can we
pull
get that
Actually,
video?
don't pull the video.
Too many
Honestly,
people have
though,
seen it. We don't need to see
It was a
it.
Pull
great
it up.
recovery. While yes, he did stumble, the recovery needs to be talked about. If we talk about glass is half full, let's talk about the recovery.
Yeah, a lesser athlete would have fallen face first. But
Oh, where's it at?
so
No,
what do you
there's a
think?
backstory behind the hill. I was earlier that week. It's on TikTok. Earlier that week, I was playing. I don't know. I can cut this. Coach Swinney, they play basketball. The coaches play basketball at like noon every Wednesday. And so I was just watching my coach, Ryan Allen, and Coach Swinney was like, "Hey, Flo, like let's play. He calls it tiger, but it's horse. Tiger. So I have my crappy shoes on that I've not even.
It's a lose-lose situation for you, Flo.
Anyways, he's very competitive. I'm just sitting there chilling before practice, and we're shooting, and he does a like 360 jump layup shot, and I was like, he makes it, and I was like, okay, I'll try. So I go do it. My left ankle, my shoe was not ready for it, and it just touched the ground. And I remember falling on the ground and like, oh, and Coach me, "Oh, Flo, you made the shot." And I was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." Like, oh, I sprained my ankle. So when I've jumped every time I've run down that hill, and I jumped, and I was literally remember the top of the hill. I was like, top of the jump. Can my ankle handle this? And then again, my ankle touched the ground once more in front of everybody, and I thought I'd get by it because the smoke bombs. But some girl took a video, posted on TikTok. 5 million views later, I was like, well, I guess I just have to live with. You know how many times I got sent that?
All attention's good attention.
That's right.
I don't know.
No such thing as bad publicity. What do you think it says that a negative thing like tripping gets you more viral than a positive thing like winking at the camera after winning an ACC championship?
I winked at the camera?
No, that was Nolan Hoosier.
Oh,
your
Hoosier.
teammate. Pretty famously.
Very
made a
famous.
hat.
He made a hat. An upside down hat. No, yeah.
That didn't even.
Hoosier on a daily basis. That was my one time to shine there with the trip. Hoosier will go viral.
Hoosier's got the aura to go
He's the
viral.
kicker. It's like every kicker, every BT did the same thing. It was like he's the kicker. Got the most swag.
Got the swag. Well, let's talk a little bit about another version of swag in the specialist group. Who is on top of the podium in Mario Kart right now?
I say Brody. I would say Brody.
Jack wants to say himself so bad.
No, I don't. I was gonna say I beat Quinn a couple times.
Yeah, it's Quinn. And why you're talking about Mario Kart is that we got a Switch, like the facility did, and they had Mario Kart downloaded it, and I think one person started playing. Next, second person started playing, and then it was like started to be very, very competitive to the point where you're screaming at each other because someone threw a red shell at you. And so every day after we have our team and special teams meeting, we go play a game, and it is a very vicious environment, to say the least. So it is kill or be killed.
It's competitive.
And it's a kid's game. It's like I played that game on the bus going to elementary school, and sometimes have to relax and be like, why did I just throw a controller because I got hit by a blue shell? I'm a grown man. What am I doing? So
the blue shell crash out. They're just like us guys. It's just it's a universal truth.
I'm like, these kids are playing this, and I'm freaking out about it. So. It's a great game, but Brody or Quinn?
Heck yeah! Hey, it's an important thing, and there's still a lot of season left, and I believe in you guys to take that top spot.
That segment was presented by Darlington Raceway. We hope to see you at the track that's too tough to tame in 2026, starting with the Goodyear 400 weekend, March 20th through 22nd, and again in the NASCAR playoffs with a cookout, Southern 500 next Labor Day weekend. Log on to darlingtonraceway.com for your tickets. Now back to Two Right Turns.
Clay, I'm going to go to you now. I've got a question for you specifically. Something that you mentioned, Flo, about Coach Swinney being competitive. I would argue all the Swinney boys are a pretty competitive bunch. And now, after 3 Sweeneys have been holders here at Clemson, all 3 have scored points, which means that all 3 have scored more points than Coach Swinney himself. So do you guys ever bring this up? Does this come up at Thanksgiving dinner? Like, do you guys get competitive over this? Because right now, Will is leading with 12. Drew has 2, and now you have 2 as well.
Yes, we're very competitive. It will come up from time to time. Usually Drew's kind of the one who tries to diffuse things. Classic middle child. Me and Will, we kind of go at each other a little bit more. But no, it's all fun and games. But I do remember growing up, my dad had a bunch of pictures of his days at Alabama in our house. And there was always, it might have been his first or second catch against either Arkansas or South Carolina, where he's got a touchdown. And he won't tell the team this, but he kind of lets up. He kind of starts slowing down a little bit, and he gets knocked out at like the 2-yard line. And he ended up never getting in the end zone in his career. So,
and there was a chance. You're saying he wasn't going to the whistle.
That has to be brought up.
I'm not saying that, but I'm sure there's film out there somewhere.
We need Joe Robbins to just
we need a deep research team on that.
Could we find that?
And just put it in like a hit tape.
No. Where that man Feldy at?
Yeah, no, we should find that because we do what's it called? Like where you have to
Tuesday trivia?
Lesson of the day.
Situationally smart.
And I think it would be it would be amazing if we do that and just put a video of him not running hard.
No, but I do think Will's title's probably safe. He scored 2 touchdowns, and you know, he deserves it. He deserves it. He earned it.
I mean, it's going to be a question. I'm going to be excited to see if that ends up on a loaf tape.
That would be funny.
I think we could find it.
Moving attention to Jack, you know, you were highly discussed going into this season, this offseason. Been here a couple of years. When you first got here, I think it was, you know, one of the first punting recruits we've had in a while as a punter, and you brought a tremendous amount of swagger to that position. You know, you had the license plate, you had the bumper sticker, you had the whole brand of being a punter, and then you've just been slowly building a foundation. You know, you're top 10 in the Castle all time. You've been putting a lot of work in, and going into this year, there was a question mark. Like, okay, is he ready? Is he able to do this job and you know, take the starting spot? And you silenced all the questions, you know, based on your performance. Mentally overcoming some of the, you know, doubt and being focused on your performance, what has that process been like for you?
At the end of the day, it's just trusting that God has a plan and there's nothing that I can do to alter it. So everything's already written. There's no reason to worry. But it's truly putting in the work and like doing it when nobody's watching, taking care of your body, like you were saying. It's ultimate belief in yourself, as much as Coach Swinney says it. Like if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. So it starts internally, and it's just the consistency. Like you got to put in the work consistently to like be consistent, because like if I'm not consistent, then I'm gonna get fired. But there definitely was a lot of talk preseason about me, and as there should have been. You know, I've only punted like 3 times in my career in 3 years. Shout out Swan Bomb.
Tell me something that you learned from Aiden going into this year. Do you have any advice for you, kind of passing the torch?
You know, the main thing he taught me was just like kind of the same thing Flo talks about. It's just like it's not as like my first couple years here. I tried every time I got a rep, like in practice, because like the twos in special teams, especially at punter, like don't get a lot of reps. I probably got like 1 to 2 reps a week. And I was trying, my mindset was I was trying not to fail, right? And what he's poured into me, and then Aiden, they were both just like, dude, like it doesn't matter. Like just go, like be you, have fun. Like he said, this is a kid's game. Like just, you've put in the work. It's all about trusting your work. And whenever you truly trust your work is whenever you can have confidence in yourself. And I'd say that's the biggest change I've had for like my mental game. It's just confidence. Like I've truly, not like I told you earlier, like I've done it in games now. So I truly have confidence, and that's what helped me get through that shank on the game the other day. It was like, I've done it plenty of times before. Like I know I'm going to go out there and do it again.
Heck yeah. It's an incredible, you know, experience and pathway and journey you've been on. And it's been something really fun to watch play out on the field. And I'm going to turn our attention to Flo. I'm excited about this one. You know, you and I have had a lot of discussions over the last couple of years as you've developed not just your ability to be a long snapper, but as a leader in this team and a senior and a veteran. And, you know, one of the things you've talked a lot about is, you know, what can I do as a long snapper, you know, to help this team win games beyond putting the ball in the hands of the punter and running down as fast as you can to affect the return. And a few weeks ago, you had a chance to speak to the team at the end of practice and just really convey how much it matters to you, this opportunity that you have based on your story, crawling onto this program, scratching and clawing your way first into Mike Dooley's email inbox and then into a tryout and then onto the team and then onto the field. And then you've talked a lot about like the fans and how impressed you were with this group. So I just wanted to kind of give you a platform right now to discuss your passion about Clemson, about this football team, your teammates, and the next couple of weeks as you round this thing out.
It's a loaded question.
I don't even know if I can. I don't know if I can put it into words. I can truly convey how much Clemson means to me. Clemson is an extremely special place in my heart, and it's kind of become home to me. Not just because of football. I came here as a normal student because I remember touring, and I just had this feeling in my gut that this is where I was supposed to be. And, I love everything about Clemson, from, the fraternities to the sororities to the Clemson life to the sports to, student government to like the any clubs to club sports. I was a club lacrosse player here, to just the social life. It's truly, it's hard to describe how special it is. And, me being able to play on this team for how long that I have is a blessing that I'll never be able to repay. I owe Clemson so much, so much. It's changed my life. And this team, this program, the people I've met, it's the people. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with this. It's hard to. It's hard to understand, and I hope that one day, I'm not leaving here a national champion, and that hurts. It hurts a lot, and it hurts for me. It hurts for every senior on this team, and it hurts for all of everybody on this team. It hurts for Coach Swinney because, we know how much Clemson has given to us in terms of just how much they've poured into us. They've cared for us. They've given their all. And we wanted to give something back. I think in a world of college football where everybody's kind of wondering, what can a school do for me? I think this group of seniors and me especially always wondered, what can I do for this school? How can I serve? How can I leave my legacy? How can I serve Clemson so that, 20 years from now, someone talks about what I did for Clemson? Because it's bigger than us, and it will always be bigger than us. And, there's a legend of 45, and there's plenty of other players after me and players before me, but I guess that I hoped one day in this great history of this school that somebody might think of the number and think of Phil Florenzo. And it's just Clemson, like they say, it's hard to describe this in these hills, and it truly is hard to describe because I really don't think there's any place like Clemson. And I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it, but I'm happy. I'm happy it happened. It's an amazing place, and I forever love Clemson, and I love everybody that supports it, and I'm proud to be a part of the Clemson family for the rest of my life. So,
well, Phil, I can tell you out of the gate, as much as it might have meant to you to be here, you being here has meant a lot to this program. And Jack, Clay, you still got a lot of opportunity over the next couple weeks and the next couple of years, or however long you can squeeze out eligibility to, carry the banner of Phil Florenzo as a specialist, and long after his time here. And we got one final section here, our mailbag section. It's time to open the fan mailbag presented by South Carolina Department of Social Services. Learn more about public adoption in South Carolina at dss.sc.gov. It's going to be quick. We got one question for y'all. We're going to look forward a little bit. We're going out on the road this week. It's a quick week, a quick turnaround. So as we start getting mentally prepared to play on the road, what's a memorable road game from your experience, something that stands out to you when we get outside of the support of this beautiful fan base?
I think the ACC has a lot of very underrated road environments. Syracuse is a great one. Boston College, Florida State, obviously. My favorite road game last year was Virginia Tech. I've been up there a few times, and it's so special. Kind of like Clemson. They have an incredible fan base. Even when they're having down seasons, they sell out every game. They do stripe outs, orange outs, whatever it may be. But to experience that inner Sandman and feel the whole stadium jumping and singing, that is such a cool place to be. You know, it's tucked away and kind of in the middle of nowhere in Virginia, and they have such a great fan base, and it is a really cool stadium where the fans are on top of you, and it's a tough place to play. That's probably my favorite environment.
I'm a big bucket list guy when it terms of college football. I grew up a pro fan. I was a big Ravens fan growing up, so I never really knew what college football was about until I got down here. But I really liked playing at Florida State just because you saw it as a kid, just the horse and everything. So they have a really great environment. My favorite away game was 2022 Wake Forest when they had Sam Hartman, and it was like a shootout, and we hit a couple big field goals, and that was my favorite place. But environment-wise, I think all of them had some very good environments too. But I think my top one would be winning at South Carolina. Is just a feeling like no other.
My favorite, best, coolest environment I've been in, the outcome of the game wasn't what we wanted, but it was my freshman year. It was the only game I traveled to. I wasn't on the travel squad my freshman year. And the only game I traveled to was Notre Dame. And that environment, that was really cool. Because,
because of Rudy.
Yeah, but you grow up watching, the big Notre Dame games, right? And to be there and to it was because we were ranked 8th in the country so it was a sold out crowd, and their fans were if our benches are right here, their fans are right on you. So I was getting people were talking at me, and I'm like, dude, I'm just a backup punter, dude. Come on, dude.
Point your attention.
Yeah, you could go affect somebody else. Don't point at me.
Seeing touchdown Jesus was cool.
Yeah,
because that's just a bucket. Nothing beats Death Valley, but the bucket list of college football.
Yeah, where Notre Dame's at the pinnacle.
Notre Dame's one of the that Florida State. You can see the horse thing. That's my plan. When I'm all done, is I just want to go to a random college football game. I always go to a Clemson game, but I'll go to a random big game and just see the different traditions, because I think that's what makes college football so special.
I like the Seminole win and for Florida State fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Yeah, pretty haunting.
That's pretty cool.
There are children of all ages in South Carolina who are in need of a forever home. Many are teens, siblings, or have complex medical needs. Public adoption through the South Carolina Department of Social Services can not only be life-changing for them, it can be life-changing for you too. When you provide stability, guidance, and support, you're giving a young person the foundation to succeed. Learn more about public adoption in South Carolina at dss.sc.gov.
Thank you so much for being here with us. This has been incredible. Much longer than I think we had intended. Hopefully we have time to get to class. But that'll do it from Studio C and the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute. Thank you all for joining us on the Two Right Turns podcast. Be sure to subscribe and check out new episodes as they drop. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
See you, Clemson family.